right.
I think this has been recorded, so Tony will be taking the minutes, or making the minutes, I guess. Not this Tony, a different one.
Oh.
But I don't
good
see any
news, huh?
recording going on.
What's
That was good news, it wasn't you.
Maybe you two guys can share that, I only got
Sure.
3 copies.
Is there an open thing first? You know, where anybody can come and talk?
No. First?
Well, that's what it was last time I was here.
I see. Well, I guess we could do that.
Do which?
Alright.
I'm not on the agenda,
Oh, I see. Okay.
and last time I was here, you just had anybody that had
Okay.
something, but I can.
Do you mind if
answer
she?
him.
Oh, no.
What would you like to come up to the table and identify yourself, please? And
I'm Vicky Merriam, 14th Street Road. You've been to my house.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I was here for a garage, but now I'm here for a license for a dock. And I've done all this work down to, blah, blah, blah. Applicants must obtain an order of conditions, a negative determination of applicability, or a certificate of compliance from the local conservation commission. Anybody know what I'm talking about? 'Cause I don't.
Well, basically I know what you're talking about, yes.
first of all, just describe what you're doing. You're putting a
I
dock.
have an existing dock that I need to get a license for. I've
You
already
need-
done
excuse
all
me.
the pre-work.
But you need to get a permit to take the old dock down.
No, to just leave it there.
You're just leaving it there, okay.
They tell me I have to have a license. It's just this dock with a walkway out to it. It's not attached to anything. We bring it in for winter. I'm not sure why I have to go through all this, but I've already done everything up to this. So I've advertised, I've let my neighbors know, I've filed a notice of intent, or application, whatever it's called. The license application is actually sitting there on their email. I just need this, and I don't know what it is.
So
This
is this,
being the okay from your local
Conservation.
conservation commission.
is this what Tony was talking about? There was a form that needed to be filled out. I think there's something else,
They don't say anything, and I went on the site and there's nothing.
so I believe Tony knew you were here today. And I believe there's a form that had to be filled out, and she would take the time to do that with you tomorrow, if you could make it in. If you wanna,
Sure.
if you wanna call
Who's Tony?
Tony, she's the secretary.
Not Mallory. you
Excuse
mean.
me, I'm sorry, Mallory, Mallory.
Yeah,
So she said there was a form that was not filled out correctly, and she would help you do that.
okay. My problem is there's nothing about a form on here. Nor is there anything on the website for DEP
Sorry
about
about
a
that.
form.
Mallory said she'd take the time to go through that. She knew exactly what you needed.
Okay. And then what?
So once that, she didn't explain any more in detail than
Right,
that,
she
but
just
that,
said that she'd help you out with the paperwork.
right, so that has to be
And then-
filled out.
The application would be complete, I guess.
So you don't have to come look at it or something? Somebody? When I had called, DP to say, why do I need this? They said something about, 'cause it's a private pond. They said something about, well, there's a stream that flows through it and you can't impede the flow. Well, it's not impeding the flow, 'cause it's not attached to anything, and it's not out where the stream is, it's by our bank.
So
Right.
we can find out if you meet with Mallory, go through the form that has to be filled out, then she can notify us on exactly what the next step is.
Okay.
And how big is it? We can go take a look at it.
Yeah.
If it's
well,
not
that's the-
500 foot wharf going out into the middle of the thing, I think will probably be alright.
It's,
When does she come in?
you know, we had to submit,
What time does
Okay.
she come?
this has all been
Not
done.
until afternoon.
Oh, I
think
didn't,
now, right?
yeah, I haven't seen that, so,
Yeah, the application for license is
Mallory's
there.
gonna be here during the
We got
day.
no service.
No, I don't think so, is she?
I
So,
think she comes
I
in
don't
the
know.
afternoon.
Yeah, the
So
site
you'll-
says
you'll have-
4 to 8.
Yeah, you'll have to check with her.
Yeah, so this is 4 to 8, and you have to come in after 4. Cause I know she's working a day job,
yeah,
Yeah,
and she's
yeah, I talked to
still
her.
doing this.
The thing is, this has been hanging for months and months and months, and I just sort of wanna get it over.
well, it sounds like you're right at the end and you
so at the end of your dock.
Yeah.
Right at the end of the dock.
Jump
End of the dock,
off,
yeah.
right?
That's better than
Head
the end,
first.
that's better than the end of your noose.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, it's too
I
bad,
just wanted to,
bureaucracy is tough,
oh,
you know, it is
don't
tough.
even talk to me. You know, I just did I'm doing a garage, that took 2 years. Cause I had to get an application for cutting down trees and,
Not
you know, those
I
are
thought we
those-
moved right along on that application to be cutting down trees.
It wasn't you, it wasn't you,
Oh, okay.
it was the state.
Oh, all right, cause I
Yeah.
know this part of it.
Yeah, I know, you came over and everything was fine, but
Okay.
then, you don't wanna hear it.
I know, it's not easy.
Thank you.
All
You're
right,
welcome.
you're welcome.
Good luck, talking with Mallory tomorrow. Alright, Bob,
Okay,
let her rip, what are we doing?
up at, Malone Road,
Why is it gonna put a helipad in here?
that's for emergencies, in case I fall down up there. There's, two patterns there, predominantly yellow and then a dotted yellow and red. What the Open Space Committee wants to do, and we're putting in an ARPA funding submittal, which actually went in yesterday, but this was a late thing that we arrived at, that would be really, good to do for the town. So we wanna put in an accessible trail, all of these, the yellow and the dotted red and yellow are really nice slopes. We don't have too much land, it's relatively flat, it's good for an accessible trail, and by accessible trail, something you can get a wheelchair onto, crutches, baby
Like Mass Audubon
strollers.
does, right?
What's that?
Like Mass Audubon does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And there aren't too many of these around actually, so this would be a real nice gem for Hubbardston to put something like this in. Each section is roughly 2,500 feet. So the grand total will be about 5,000. What we're proposing is just to do the yellow section first and then do the second section afterwards. The construction of the trail will have this triax soil reinforcement stuff. There'll be no disturbing of the ground below the trail. You put this webbing down. I came in once and had that, I think, and so it's just a really thin webbing, but it's used for soil reinforcement. And then 1.5 inch crushed stone goes on top of it. What that does, it turns it into essentially like a giant snowshoe. It gets you a really firm base that you can put anything on. And then the top 2 inches will be a graded piece that we can compact into it, so it makes a good, hard, firm top surface that would be warranted for
I get you with that product.
wheelchairs and baby strollers and things like that. And
Sounds
the
like a
trail
miracle.
system is a pretty nice, as it turns out. It's not like any one big loop, so relative to folks with ambulatory issues, they can take a really short loop, a medium loop, a pretty long loop, etc. As they're going around up there. So,
Can you just, is this the road coming in right here? I'm trying to orient myself,
the
two
The
red
road,
lines.
if I drew it on this map, would be coming in pretty close to that red state
Okay.
boundary line.
Double line is, there must be the road boundary right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's to one side of that is DCR land, and then we're on this side of that. And the road parallels the end of the field, and the parking lot is right about in that area there. That round that oval shaped
I see.
parking lot at the end of the field, at the end of the road.
Okay.
It'd be right about there, yeah. You could've had Mark put a P where the parking would be. So there's ample parking, lots of trail issues, options,
But how do
no
you,
wetland, what?
how do you get the wheelchairs and so on and so forth over into the area? I mean, if this is parking up in here, am I reading this?
No,
Maybe I'm not listening correctly.
Yeah, I think the parking's over here.
Oh,
Yeah.
parking's
Yeah,
down here?
parking's over
Yeah.
there.
Oh, okay, then it's been answered for me.
Yeah, the road comes in from this, 'cause.
Okay,
And if you look just down to your right, that big long field is coming down. So, and this is pretty much a straight road, so the road would go out,
okay,
to Mount Jeff Road right straight out this way.
all right, I know where we are now. I know the piece.
So one of those is Dottie Athens Trail, it's a blue one, is it?
These are all existing trails, by the way. These aren't new trails we're proposing, we're just proposing putting putting
Yeah.
a firm
Right.
surface on them.
Right, okay.
And the trails will be, for the most part, if you look at, ABA, let's see, what controls trails relative to construction for making an accessible trail is something called the Architectural Barriers Act, not ADA. ADA is silent on trails. Trail heads, the buildings around trails, ramps and all that stuff associated, as well as any kind of building. ADA handles all that stuff.
I see.
Architectural Barriers Act defines what you need for trails. And so you get gradual pitches. You can have a pitch maybe of 10% for, you know, like 50 feet, 60 feet, something like that. So this whole area is just really ideal for having just nice, gentle things. It's a mix of field, right at the end of the parking lot. It's more like a habitat, pollination type garden. There's a lot of wildflowers and stuff. We brush hog that once a year
That's
to
it.
keep that stuff down, to keep it a meadow. This other field is part of the hay contract
Yeah,
that goes out. Lance Lane is doing that stuff right now, so.
I heard he's getting around with his one leg.
I don't know if you heard, anybody else heard about Lance Lane. However it happened, he let a small wound go, and it turned into gangrene, and he had to have his leg amputated somewhere a couple inches below his knee or something.
And he's
It's
how
hard
old?
it's hard to fathom that could happen in today's world, but
How old is he?
Lance, what's Lance? 45-ish, something like that.
A young man.
And they,
That's something.
and so he still doesn't have a prosthesis for us. He did this over a year ago, so he's still working with it, and he can get around some, and he will be ultimately able to operate the equipment that he used to operate. He's got helpers working with him right now to do that stuff. So.
Wow.
So we've met with the trail will be 5 foot wide. That's the ideal thing by this Architectural Barriers Act. And a few places where there's trees and stuff that we don't need to take out or want to take out. An accessible trail can drop down to as little as 3 feet, but this existing trail system will accommodate that. And we'll probably do it in, plan is to do it in 2 phases, to get the funding for this first phase, get that under our belt, and then if that goes well, then we'll maybe apply for Mass Trails grant or something else to finish up the last half of it. But this will be one of a few trails of this type with these kind of features of combination of fields and wooded area, and as well as accessible. So that's what we're planning. Hopefully everything's good with you. We met with North County Land Trust. They're the ones that hold the CR on it, and we walked the entire thing with them and went over it with them, and they're happy. Well, I mean, obviously, most people are gonna be happy about this, doing something like this for folks in town to get people with issues out, as well as young mothers and kids and stuff, that they can go out and have some nice easy trails to walk, cause most of our trails aren't that easy, so.
Sounds like a nice idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, we're thrilled about it,
Yeah.
just as far as, and hopefully we'll get some ARPA funding for it, it'd be a good thing, for people, so we'll see.
alright, well, does anyone have any questions or concerns about,
No,
you know?
I think you did a nice job on explaining it.
Yeah, just as far as a committee thing, it was a relatively late idea, in fact, Chris Monroe from planning board, yeah, his wife's on the, select board and whatnot. You know, he came in and was talking about the ARPA, the first round, this is the second round of ARPA funding, so that there was a good opportunity on the second round, so he comes to a lot of our open space meetings, so he was talking about it, so wheels get spinning, and so people did, like in pretty short order, but quite a bit of time the last 2 weeks, just putting some together that, was good enough to submit for the proposal. So yeah, we're really excited about it.
This is,
Yep.
how much ARPA funds are you applying for?
We're, the first phase, we've gone out and did a couple things. You gotta live by town rules relative to, hired labor, operating machinery and stuff like what we're planning on using for machinery. I actually bought one, a smaller one myself, it's, called a tracked hauler dumper. It's on track so it doesn't disturb the soil, you can get out there and, even if it's wet and stuff like that, and doesn't wreck the ground and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But they make quite a few sizes of these things. I bought one that holds 3,000 pounds or a little over a yard of material.
That's great.
There's the next size up, the one I got, cause I like to do trail work, I can take down, single track trails. So the width of it is only about 39 inches. The next size up will hold, over 2 yards, so that does that'll do over 40 feet of trail just in one trip. And that'll hold, like I said, 2 yards. And there's a few companies that make them. The one, that I've talked to, so these, something that's mostly good for these kinds of applications. So we'll probably rent this, I found places that rent these kind of machines, so,
Makes sense.
and that's the story, so.
It wouldn't take long, somebody loading and someone running out there.
Yeah, so we get 60 grand in because we need to get, licensed, et cetera, operators in there to do this kind of stuff. And, so, if we could do it mostly with just volunteer labor, it'd be quite a bit less than that, but I don't think we can do that.
You have to take down a lot of trees?
No.
No.
No. It might be just one or two where we gotta widen the trail just a little bit, so. And nothing big. I think the largest tree that we might wanna take down is like a 5-inch tree.
Oh.
So. Yep, and that's what we went over with North County, we walked all the exact route that we're gonna do there. It'll be a delightful trail.
Alright,
All right.
we don't need to vote on this right now.
no,
Thank
just
you.
informing us.
Yeah,
Thank you
they're
for
just
your help.
informative to let you know what we're going on and trying to do good things.
That sounds like a good one.
Yep, alrighty.
Okay,
Thanks, guys.
thank you.
Thank you
Yep,
for
bye-bye.
coming by.
This must be a quiet night here tonight.
Oh yeah, it is. Minutes of the meeting, review the minutes. We have minutes.
I don't think we had any notes, did we?
How come Mallory's not at can't stay at the meeting anyway? What is that?
No idea.
Rich, no?
I think she's doing paperwork. She's only got so much time. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I don't expect that she anticipated that she'd have to continue work after she gave notice, but.
Right.
That's why I thought Tony was gonna be
They didn't try to talk her into coming back.
Is the other Tony gonna come in?
Tony Walker.
Yeah.
She's administrative assistant now. I don't think she's gonna have,
Well,
I don't know.
That's a good question, cause she's like, been transferred over to her to do, right? Whether
Well,
she
I
wants
just
to or
read
not.
emails and that's what I gather from the email. I
Well,
don't
you're
know.
doing a better job than me.
Yeah. But it just, everything says Tony Walker, administrative assistant.
So I don't know, you know, how that gonna pan out, but,
Well, I don't either.
cause Tony is, I think, I was told that she does the minutes based on being recorded.
Yeah, okay.
So I was gonna start taking minutes, do the minutes, but she has to somehow listen to the recording and make the minutes up.
So we're being recorded now, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
automatic.
you
right?
did mention that in the
Yeah.
beginning.
We're being recorded, so
you
there's
know.
no minutes from last time that I can see. So,
Mm.
with this is, I guess we'll have to go with the flow and see how this pans out. Review site walks, I did a site walk, down at 50 Brigham at the stable, Wish Me Luck stable. I stopped in there, saw Mr. Schultz. They're putting a,
Well, I went by that tonight and I seen at the end of the house off. I wondered what was going on. Well, no, it was all dug out. There was a machine
Oh,
there.
there is?
It was all dug out.
I don't know what the status is of the,
So what are they
building
doing,
permit or
putting an
anything like
addition
that.
on the house?
Yeah, they're putting a 2-car garage and a little mother-in-law apartment towards the street.
Yeah.
And they had, erosion control, it's all up on top of the hill. So I didn't see anything that caused me any concern.
Yeah, so it's all out of 100-foot buffer.
Yeah. I don't know about, you know, the other parts of the permit as far as any septic work. We didn't talk about that or anything, so.
Yep, looks like they're 102 feet
Yeah.
according to this.
That's what it said.
Yep.
They also got a letter from the DCR saying
It's been
it was
approved
just
from
up
the DCR.
up to us to
Yeah.
if we have any other concerns, but we're not gonna disallow it. Um, anything else? Did you talk to Mrs.
No,
Miss?
I didn't. I
No.
gotta do that. I gotta call her.
Yeah, I mean, because one of us should stop in there and just, because we went around and
Right.
kind of like on it. It seems to be very conservative and
I don't see any problem
a
with it.
public safety, not a public safety, but a personal safety kind of thing. A tree might fall in the house eventually, not this week, but
Yeah.
so you're gonna call her?
Yeah, I'll
Take
give
a
her a
look.
call.
Okay. And that's, just to be clear, as far as I know, that, you know, that's a site visit.
Yeah.
They can put in for, because we have money in the kitty. I can't say the status of
I
that,
don't know, she was checking on that. I might not be able to get paid.
because there was some money there for miscellaneous site investigations. And you can't expect to go and drop everything and go check this stuff out without
I
being
can go over there for it
paid.
anyways.
I mean, there was plenty of money in there before. I mean, honestly, I haven't even submitted the last probably 6 or 8
Right, well-
inspections I went on.
That's silly, though.
I know
Mallory
it is,
was
but
gonna check, she wasn't sure if I could get paid or not because I work for the town.
because of what?
I work for the town,
Well, I'd
Oh,
say,
that shouldn't happen.
yeah.
no kidding.
Well,
Yeah.
I
I
say
can,
just,
I can make up any rules I want.
I just like,
it
I don't
does,
care
it's supposed to
anyways.
be like a non-conflict of interest, but what has it got to do with anything? It's a rare occurrence that the Concom has to look at something.
Right.
Whether you're just a citizen in this case.
Yeah.
So I say, Joyce raised the same question, but you can't do that if you're employed by the town. It's like, you know, what is a district attorney gonna come and say, you know, throw us all in jail? I mean, that's $40 to go do a site walk through the mud and everything,
Yeah.
and go have a look at something fall down a couple times. Give me a break. I say we just do it and not, but I think we should do a review. What I think would be appropriate, you go there, you have a look, and you just write a little email to Mallory and copy us so we know it's been done.
Right.
And then it's a record, so if somebody goes to look for it, they can see
Well,
what happened.
I always either call her or email her when I do it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that she has to say, okay, Tony, I'm gonna pay you. It's my responsibility to put it down on the slip.
Okay,
And I mean, you know, I can't say, well, I called her and she didn't pay me. It's me. I just, I must have too much money.
I know you, because now we're starting to talk about 6 or 8 times 40 is $300. You could at least go to dinner
I know,
someplace.
and I
or
could
do
take my
something.
wife to dinner. She's
Or
been bitching, I don't take her anyway.
Buy one tire for your Escalade or something
I know.
that you ruptured on the way to a
I
site
hope
visit.
she's not watching this.
Yeah, that's right.
What?
Alright,
I said, you better hope she's not watching this.
in this story,
At least you can put gas in your car for driving your Escalade over to the site visit. I mean,
I know.
I
I know.
So anyway, so there is a slip. I mean, there's a
form.
form you fill out,
I have them.
and that becomes a public record. But it should
Yeah.
be, because I don't know if people have gone or to a site visit or not. And
Yeah.
if the customer is called for some reason, they need to
Well,
get
if, when we have gone, the last few, we've gone together, and you've not let her know at the meeting, like the following night or something. So, like I say, then it's up to me to say, okay, I'm putting in for it.
right, because we wrote up drank coffee and
But,
ate donuts and
so I'll
checked
see,
the plan.
I'll see if Rich can get paid, and if he does, well.
Well, he should, just what,
I know.
I say, we do
I
it,
don't really care.
and have people,
Yeah.
if there's gonna be any issue, we can,
Yeah, I
you
can
can talk to
remember,
me.
I can remember when we used to get paid just for being on the Conservation Commission. Then all of a sudden, that was a dead issue. No
Yeah.
more pay.
That is hard to believe. I mean, since I've been on the Concom, so I don't know how long now.
You didn't get paid.
I get paid, I think I got $40 once
Yeah.
for doing a site visit.
Yeah, well,
I
that's.
don't know. How about you, Tom? Do you ever get paid for anything?
I did,
Yeah.
Board of Health.
Well, it should
I
be.
don't know if I was on conservation when we got paid, I think
Well,
that was about the
you-
time it ended.
You didn't get paid when we used to actually get every 3 months or
Right,
every
right.
6 months, whatever it was. We used to get a
Something.
check for like $100 and something dollars.
Yeah, I think it was like maybe 500 for the year,
Yeah, I don't, that sounds high, but.
maybe 3.
But
That's
you know.
something. I mean, what are the other towns doing? How do you expect?
Well, and
to keep-
then when the town had a real budget crisis,
They stopped.
they stopped it.
And they expect everyone to go
So I would say that was maybe
do
like
these site visits. And
6 years ago, something like that, maybe.
it's really incredible when you think about it. I mean, just out of the goodness of our heart, we do these things.
Wow.
Thank you all.
Bunch of nice guys.
I
That's all I can say.
Thank you all for
Don't say too
coming to
much,
the
we'll rethink it.
meeting. Even coming to the meetings and the snow's blowing and all that stuff and whatever. All right, what else we got here? That's great. As long as we can rev up that stuff and do our paperwork, and you should get paid. You can do a site visit. It takes an hour. You make a couple bucks. It's worth.
Oh, yeah,
You know.
yes,
Have to be
anybody who
responsible.
does a site visit should get paid,
Yes.
no question about it.
Update of 11 Rolling Woods. Looks like
That's the
This-
email we got here.
Yeah,
Mr.
I finished it up, yeah, pictures and everything too that she had sent.
Okay.
Easy, finished it up, he was just waiting to find out what kind of grass they wanted. And
He's-
he was gonna
He's
seed it.
apparently seen the light and is
Yeah.
interested in completing the project.
Good.
They must have told him
Who's
what
this
the frames
Roland,
were gonna be.
Who's this, Roland Hills, Roland?
Rolling
Yeah,
Woods,
Rolling
where,
Woods.
Roland,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
where the road went into New Templeton Road.
No, he doesn't
Driver.
have much of a choice.
No,
Has to
it's
simplify.
unfortunate. I've heard it all, but I mean, it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's a bummer, but. I
It's a
mean,
bummer. It's a bummer.
Good news for us, it's coming to an end.
right,
Alright, what else we got? Unexpected item, what is that?
That's if one comes up. I don't have any.
Any, other concerns or questions from the group. Alright,
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll make a
Second.
motion to, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
7:31, nice, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
Kind of dragged it out there a little.